So, hey, everybody, I have another special guest for you this week. I would like to introduce you to my friend, Kevin York. Kevin, how are you today?
Very good, Shelby. How you doing?
I am doing fantastic. So, Kevin, you are a photographer, but you are not like other photographers. You have a lot of different specialties, and just because of the fact, I mean, everyone is taking pictures on their own and all that kind of good stuff, but you have a craft that you do that is really impressive. I have seen your work, and I mean, you're kind of everywhere with a bunch of different types of specialties. So I thought that it'd be great to have you tell some people, a lot of people, about
Yes.
what exactly it is that you specialize in, and kind of tell us how long have you been in photography, and just tell us a little bit about yourself, not like a 30-second commercial, but more so of who is Kevin York and what is it you do and what services do you offer?
Well, thanks, Shelby. Well, it's really an honor and a privilege to be here today. So thank you very much. Anyway, so how did I get started doing photography? Perkins Valley High School,
Okay.
George Ramasco, the AV teacher. I went in there one day wanting to do sound on video. And he said, no, we have that, but here's a camera. Hands me a camera. I need pictures of the track meet that's going on this afternoon. I'm like, okay. So now I'd always kind of been in it. Always as a kid, I had a Polaroid. So that was kind
You're
of like,
dating yourself with your Polaroid, my friend.
yeah, I know. So I had the Polaroid thing, right? We used to make these Polaroids, Insta Polaroids, right, and whatnot. But anyway, so he said, go out and shoot the track meet. And I was like, sure. So I came back, we processed the film, did all that, and was in the dark room, shined the light down on the piece of paper, click, however many seconds. And then once it was in the tray and you see the picture coming up, I was hooked. That was it. Black and white picture. That was the moment that I really became hooked. And that was a while back. Paul McCartney had a record out then. Anyway, Frampton Comes Alive. Anyway, I then, 1981, I started a business. I had actually a camera store for a little while, for about a year. That wasn't where and then I went back to school. I graduated high school in '79. I went back to school, for photography school. Graduated in 1985 and have been in business since July 13th, 1985, the weekend of Live Aid.
Wow.
I told my boss, I said, well, I was working in the photo studio at the time. I told my boss, I was getting minimum wage, whatever it was. I said, listen, I'm going to a concert this weekend. I may be back Monday. I don't know. so I actually didn't make it to the concert, but that's all right. Well, that's another story for another day. Anyway, and then since then, I've been really blessed to have worked on many magazines. You'll see a picture here of Mario Andretti.
Mm-hmm.
I went to France with him. That's his last photograph, the last photograph I have of him as a professional race car driver.
Wow.
That was in 2000. I've worked on many, like I say, Racer magazine. I've met all my boyhood heroes. I've had I've just been blessed to be in a profession that I'm very passionate about, always have been passionate about. So that's kind of, I don't know, that's kind of where, so here we are.
So let's talk about the specialties. So there's
Sure.
Mario behind that one shoulder, and that is one of the specialties of one of your businesses, right? So what is the name of that business, and how, if there was a magazine, or, if ESPN wants to reach you, how do they do so?
Sure. So basically what I'm doing is if ESPN wants to reach me, I'm pitching to ESPN, by the way. Actually, I have a deal. I talked to them the other day about cricket. I'm photographing cricket. Okay. But anyway, okay, I won't get off the subject too much because I can talk a lot.
I know, Kevin.
This was actually done for Racer magazine.
Okay.
Like I said, this was 2000. So really the way that I got involved in magazine work was really just photographing an event or going out and contacting an art director, and then you know, sending your work to them, and then that's how the ball rolls. So basically, you know, if agencies and magazines want to get a hold of me, they're getting a hold of me through K York Photo and Kevin York Photographer, Kevin York Editorial Portrait Photography. That's one side of my business.
Okay. Uh-oh. Evan?
That's one piece of one block of the business. That's another piece of my business.
Okay.
That's Kevin York Weddings. So so I have things broken up a little bit. So if people want to get a hold of me, basically, if you just Google Kevin York Photographer, you're going to find tons of stuff, and then basically pick out, you know, what you're looking for. Right? My next venture is Kevin York's Headshots. Okay, Kevin York Headshots, or I'm thinking like B2B, like more or less if people are looking for, and I think I've said this maybe at some of the NGIV meetings, excuse me, where in some of the networking meetings where folks, you know, are showing images that are okay, right? They're using their cell phones to make pictures, and they look okay, but I will tell you that subconsciously, you know, people think that they're going to, you know, subconsciously people see images and it makes an impression, right? When people always say first impressions, right? That thing about first impression, you know, you get one chance to make a first impression. Well, if you're showing, and I'm not going to pick on anybody, but let's just say that you're a rug guy or a floor guy or whatever, and you're showing pictures that you shot, or a builder or carpenter or whatever, and you're showing pictures that you did with your phone. Well, they might be okay, and it's not the phone that's the issue. It's maybe your eye, maybe you're not a photographer, and maybe if you want to make some more sales, you might want to get somebody to use your phone that kind of maybe knows what they're doing with it, okay? Because it's not the equipment that matters. It's right here, okay? It's what's here that matters as far as making images. So I always tell folks, you know, because here's the other thing, like I was doing these portfolio reviews the other day, and I talked to many different art directors and people. Some people think I'm great. Some people, I had one lady tell me that I needed to go to a photojournalism school. I'm like, really? I've won awards. I've won awards for photojournalism. Come on, stop. So everybody's got a different opinion about what they see.
Right. Okay. So it sounds like one of the other services that you are offering, although it's not a category that you just said, is if someone wanted to have professional pictures done for their website. Yes. If they wanted to show, a contractor wants to show some before and after photos, you know, have you come in and take photographs of that so that they could update their website as well.
Yeah, and look, and I'm even to the point where I would help someone, you know, figure out how to do it so they could do it themselves. Maybe they have me come in, do it the first time around, and then I could show them, you know, how they could do that. Because, you know, unless it's really a glamour piece, unless it's something, let's put it this way. I have a job coming up in May. It's a contractor who does. I don't want to say porches, but I guess that's what they are. What you like you have an overhang, you have the like a fire pit and all these things, and it's all stone, and it's maybe you've got a TV in there and a bar and all this stuff. All right, so they need this person needs images, but they want high-end architectural digest type work. Okay. Now, I probably won't be able to teach him how to do that, but but at least I can get those images for him so that when he's showing his high-end clients, or even not, even just anybody, that he's making a really good first impression. Then, you know, after you've gained some trust and they know your work and whatnot, then you can show them this stuff, you know, and then, you know, but that's kind of the way that I like to work with contractors and people like that, and just let them know that, hey, give folks something really good to look at right off the bat.
Right.
Then you can pull out your 3-ring binder of, hey, I've done this job, I've done this job, I've done this job.
So one of the other, we'll make mention, you did a piece on naked chefs.
Yes.
So I mean, but that just goes to show like the level of different things that you do, right? So why don't you quickly tell us what that was, and just kind of get it shows your experience, Kevin.
Sure. Well, one of the things that I was told when I showed these images to someone who's in the industry, they said to me, look how comfortable these people are in front of you. Okay. So the Naked Chefs, just to give you a background, the Naked Chefs was a brainchild of Peter Breslow Consoling. Peter was kind of mimicking an ad campaign from back in a Vitamix company called the thing Vitamix. They did a thing with chefs, and they'd have blenders. They would be naked but holding blenders in certain spots and all this kind of thing, right? So we kind of really piggybacked off that concept, and so we got top chefs, some of the top chefs in Philadelphia, to literally bare all and cook and do stuff in their kitchens and whatnot. And I took, tasteful, that's the word, tasteful images, right? Of these folks doing their thing. And it became a huge success. I mean, it really went viral. I got on TV. When I got Jen Frederick interviewing me, I thought that was really cool.
So you're a local celebrity.
Yes, and actually I became somewhat of a slight local celebrity in Washington, D.C., because we did this in Washington, D.C. as well. And that was not chefs, but that was mixers and shakers. So we were doing bar, it was the bartender. Well, I guess they're bartenders, but they own the bars and whatnot. Now, this was all, and it was also an ad campaign for Revivalist Gins in Elverson, PA. So if anybody likes gin, Revivalist Gins, Elverson, PA.
Lots of plugs going on.
Yeah, I got them all over, believe me. But yeah, so then the proceeds from this, so what we were doing was then we would put them on social media, and then every time they were shared, Revivalists would see that and they would donate $1 towards hospitality workers. And I think they gave out a few $5,000 checks.
That's awesome.
Okay. Yeah.
That's
so it was really good. And I was really very proud to be involved in things like that.
As you should. Absolutely. Helping that industry that suffered a lot in 2020. I mean, it's it's huge. So
yeah, I mean, it was probably a small drop in the bucket, but
every little bit helps.
But yeah, every little bit helps. Absolutely. Sorry.
So in wrapping up, is there anything that you want to share about yourself and what you do that I have not asked you about?
Well, let me give you real quick. Really, my work involves the work. If you said to me, what kind of a photographer are you? I really work with people, whether they be celebrity or just regular folks. Okay. People is my thing. So all of my work really wraps around people. Like, I have a project coming up right now where I'm at a retirement community, and they were kind of like, they didn't want the same old pictures that you see in retirement community of the perfectly dressed person with a glass of something and
right.
And they were looking for some, and they found my website. If you go to kyorkphoto.com, you will see the first picture on there is a lady called Junkyard Barbie. Okay. It's you got to check it out, folks. Okay. It's not your usual. That picture got me the job at the retirement community. Wow. And what also got me the job at the retirement, what sealed the deal was I asked them, do your people sweat? Like, do they work out? Do they get dirty? Like when they're in the garden, do they get dirty? And these people, they were like, do they sweat? I said, yeah, like, are they real people? Like, do they go out
Right.
and do walks? Do they run? Do they play golf? Do they do
Right.
stuff? Oh yeah, they do all that. Okay, well, that's what we want photographs of. We want reality. So
Right.
just, I'm about people. I really, my business is really generated, and that's how I got into auto racing, into weddings, into the retirement communities, all about people and really photographing people. And so family portraits, senior portraits, headshots, events.
You do it
Yeah,
all. You do it
yeah,
all.
with people.
So yes, with people.
With
So
people.
I know that you said your website, but go ahead and say it again. And then any other way that anyone can come in contact with you.
Sure. So I have two websites. So the first website is kyorkphoto.com, kyorkphoto.com. That's where you'll see Mr. Andretti. And then I have Kevin York Weddings, which is specific for weddings. That's where you'll see these folks. Okay. And but the same phone number for both, 484-390-2820. You can Google me. You will see tons of stuff. So I'm easily found. Facebook, Instagram, Kevin York Photographer.
Okay.
I don't do Twitter though. I'm sounding that into Twitter. That's too much weirdness there.
So guys, as I said, I've known Kevin for a few years now. I've seen his work, and again, very personable man, as you can see. So Kevin, Kevin, thank you so much for taking time to allow us to showcase you this week. And guys, honestly, check out his website. Go ahead and give him a call. Check him out on Facebook, Instagram. You're going to see some really great work. So,
thank you, Shelby.
Thank you, Kevin. Have a great week, guys.
Take care, folks.